Okay, wow, there goes the notifications. I was really hoping for those. Great. Okay, man. I guess we can start. I'm going to move some things around here. We're going to be doing a couple of different things. Cyber will now be on a HD screen, where he was on 1080 before, which just wasn't enough, because this game is running much higher resolution. So what I think happens is it downgrades. It's kind of weird and stupid because I wasn't on 1080p. But we do have something to talk about. It's a Southern Baptist church, man, and it's just the onslaught of fascism. We've been witnessing this in Florida for years. We've been seeing it through the Trump administration. We've been seeing some forms of fascism from the Biden administration. It's funny when you think about what Joe Biden actually ran on. You know what Joe Biden ran on was he was going to endorse and increase the amount of green energy. And instead, what has he done? He's stepped up American oil production. Now, you know what he's running on? He's running on American energy. And you know what American energy is now, because of him and his administration? It's oil. And he's running on that now. He's running on oil. Hey, Nick. First chat of the day. Thank you. I really appreciate seeing you this morning. Good morning. Let's go ahead and refresh that chat so I can see how many people are actually here. Wonderful. Good morning. Josh G, good morning. You made it just in time for that chat. It is. We've got Cleaning Crew Thursdays, and we've got, one of the girls is very attractive, so I think you'll enjoy that. And we're going to be discussing what's going on with the Southern Baptist Church and women. So do you remember, when we started this whole fascism thing like a year ago, we started covering, I said, we're going to cover fascism every day because that's how fascism is. It's in the news every day now. Once it starts, you're not if you're not fighting against it, it's taking over. And it is taking over. And for those of you who don't understand what fascism is forcing people to abide by your political beliefs, using whatever means of force necessary to make that happen. So when fascism started, here recently in Florida, they started going after the most marginalized groups, people that everyone hates generally more than any other groups, right? So who'd they start with? LGBTQ. Did that offend you? Sorry, it's true. So a lot of people hate the LGBTQ community. They were an easy target. But here's the crazy thing. Where were all the Christian women at? Where were all the Southern Baptist women at? Oh, that's right. They weren't screaming out for the LGBTQ community from the Southern Baptist female community, were they? They weren't marching. They didn't go out in the streets along with the LGBTQs, right? You didn't see a whole bunch of Southern Baptist women marching alongside. Do you know why? Because those women don't care about LGBTQ people, number one. Number two, they weren't being marginalized back then. But guess what's happening today? Southern Baptist women are the next group to be marginalized by fascism. And that's what's going on right now. And I know what you're wondering. How is that possible? I mean, what do you mean women? Well, this one's actually not coming from the government or Ron DeSantis. It's because the government and Ron DeSantis and people like that and Donald Trump, they set these examples for the rest of the world to fall into place. Fascism works like that too. Fascism has followers. And these fascist followers just very easily fall in line with what the politicians are already laying out for them. We're going to discriminate against people. We're going to take your rights away. We're going to control the voting. We're going to control the power. That's what fascism does. It's like crack. It's like an addiction, and everyone's got it, right? So, what are they doing now? How is this tied to the government? Well, the government is giving the blessing now, right? This fascist government that we have gives their blessing now for the Southern Baptists to go out there and tell, hey, if you're in a congregation, a Southern Baptist congregation, and it's led by a female pastor, you're no longer part of the Southern Baptists. But wait, you used to be, yeah, but that's how fascism works. They start excluding people. They start finding groups of people that they don't like anymore, and they start yanking them out. And because those female Southern Baptist women weren't there screaming at their top of the lungs for the African American community of Florida, right? For young African men, African American males who were getting killed in the streets when Black Lives Matter. Where were the Southern Baptist women screaming out? We've talked about this so many times on this show. You're going to be quiet. You're going to be silent. You're not going to say a word about it. And then what's going to happen? It's going to get you next. You know, first they came for the socialists, and I said nothing. No. That's not how it happened. First they came for the LGBTQ community, and the female Baptist women said nothing. That's how it happened, actually. That's how the poem should go. First they came for the LGBTQ, and the female Southern Baptists said nothing. And now guess what? The female Southern Baptists are now being marginalized. They're no longer being recognized. They no longer have a voice. They no longer have a say. They've lost all their power. Why? Because they were silent when they saw other forms of fascism happening. That's why we're not silent on this show. That's why we scream about it and yell about it. Because when it comes to our door, we're hopefully going to be ready for it. I hope you're going to be mentally prepared for it. You know, you're going to need every tool in your toolbox. So be prepared for this, guys, because it's coming. You know, if it hasn't come for you yet, well, you might not be a female Southern Baptist. You might not be an LGBTQ. You might not be an African American. You see where I'm going with this, right? Eventually, it's going to get you. You know, it's probably already got some of your friends, some of your loved ones. You know, it's coming for you next. Are you going to speak out against Ron DeSantis? Are you going to speak out against Donald Trump? Are you going to speak out when Joe Biden practices his forms of fascism? Because they all do. You know, when a politician gets elected and he tells you he's going to do this, this, and that, and then he gets elected and he doesn't do any of those things, he's a fascist. He's using his position of power to push his politics on you, even though the voters specifically said, we want this other stuff. No, he's a fascist. They're all fascists. They impose their own beliefs on us. Do you not think that Joe Biden is Catholic? Do you think that he doesn't love Jesus Christ more than anything else in the world? Think about it. You think he's really going to protect women's rights when he believes that Christianity says that, oh, abortion is wrong? You know, that's what, you know, the Reverend, this guy that just died, what was his name? I forgot the guy's name, the guy that just died. He's the one that got abortion banned in the United States. This guy. He's dead now. It's a good thing. But do you think that, rules for thee, not for me, fascists, right? Let's get the volume up here. I've got my sound off. Here we go. Here. I've got my sound off. Okay, cool. We're good. Sound is on. We'll be seeing if we can get some of that, action here that we like to get. Sometimes we get some of that cleaning crew action, which is great. I got coffee. You might not have known that. But it always comes back to fascism, and we're always going to talk about it here. And we're going to call the fascists out, and hopefully nobody will support fascists. Hopefully people like Destiny won't support fascists like Ron DeSantis, like he has been doing, and saying that Ron DeSantis has done a great job with Florida. Wrong, Destiny. Wrong on Ron DeSantis. Take a deeper dive. It's okay that he's wrong on Ron DeSantis. It's people don't live in Florida and they don't realize how horrible it really is. People like Joe Rogan, people like Jimmy Dore, people like Tim Pool, they hear about how he handled COVID and they think that was good. You know, because government bad, Ron DeSantis good. That's their reasoning, man. Oh, well, he did such a great job with COVID, which he didn't do. He didn't do a great job with COVID. More people died here than almost any other state. Yeah, the business of the state is back up and running, but if you can't come home and take some of that money and spend it on your dear old grandmother that died of COVID, what good is it? I don't know, man. Hey, Walk by Faith, what's up? In the chat here, I see Walk by Faith, not by sight is in the Discord. Hell yeah. What's up, son?
Yeah.
Josh G. Making too much sense.
Where do I know that name from? Walk by Faith, not by sight.
Twitter.
Oh, Twitter! You came over from Twitter, that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. You been watching the show a little bit?
I've kind of been behind, but I'm trying to catch back up. So yeah.
Hell yeah, I'll turn your volume up.
I've been MIA.
Okay, okay. How was prison? Were they nice to you?
No. No.
We all have our own little prisons. We all have our own prisons that we're assigned to, little prisons.
Yeah, you got that right. You got that.
Are you at work?
I just got home, like about an hour ago.
Oh, you got home?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we're safe for home. We are safe for home.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the smoking portion of the show. No. Somebody came to get high.
Yeah.
I like that.
That sense you, I'm like, that is some fucking BS, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
What's BS?
The thing like that I sent you on Twitter, is about the schools allowing Satan clubs in the schools. I'm like, what is this world becoming, bro? I'm so confused.
Your mic is not perfect, but it sounded like you said there's some kind of a law where they're allowing satanic stuff in schools or something.
So I think it's
Josh G.
I want to say California.
Oh, new keyboard. That thing sounds very tactile and
allowed
clicky.
it
I like it.
Allowed in schools, and there's a whole bill that went out for it for some schools, and they're allowing it in some in Ohio, and some in Illinois. It's just it's a bit out there.
What's the content of the satanic instruction, I wonder? They're just talking about the Church of Satan?
I think.
So they're like, okay, there's another religion out there, kids. It's called Satanism, and this is what they do. They sacrifice each other and drink the blood of lambs and say Hail Satan and draw bloody stars on the ground. Well, I don't know. I don't get it, man. What is it? What are they teaching these kids? I don't get it. Is they want to be diverse? Is this about diversity and equality and inclusion?
Yeah.
What grades are we talking about here? Do we know what grades?
Tess Kelly. Good morning, all.
Any grades, like all grades.
All the grades, like kindergarten?
Yeah, like some are kindergarten, some are middle school, some are high school. I'm like, this is bad.
It seems a little hyperbolic, bro, for them to be doing that. It's like, this is an overreaction to fascism, probably, to people yanking books out of schools. So they're like, okay, you want to yank a book out of the school about the Holocaust, we're going to start teaching about Satan. So fuck you. And you know what? These overreactions hurt the movement overall. And it's too bad that they do this, because it makes them look even worse. And then it proves the point that, yeah, some of this material shouldn't be shown to kids. They're not doing this right. They're going about this the wrong way. It's sad.
They really are.
It's being trolled, man. You get trolled into an overreaction. And that's the story of my life. It's the story of this fucking show. I've let trolls get me so angry on here that people don't want to watch. They're like, dude, you just get too pissed off and you're too loud, and and people get right under your skin and blah blah blah. That's exactly what all this other shit is. It's just people being trolled, and they don't realize it. They're getting trolled, and then their reaction is, okay, then we're going to bring in satanic teachings in here and blah blah blah, and that they're not like thinking about it before. They actually wrote legislation around this. What kind of thought process went into that? What kind of drugs are they on, and where can I get them?
Exactly.
God.
Exactly.
It's very interesting. Ohio's
one of them too, yes. And that is some. And I'm from Ohio. I'm like, I'm like, what the hell, guys?
Well, I understand it. I think it's stupid. But if you are going to talk about Christianity in that school, and you are going to speak about Judaism, and you're going to speak about other religions, then nothing should be off the table. If you're in like a class that's talking about religion, but I would have to see the context of the lessons, where they're being introduced, I'd have to see all of it, man, to see what's going on and what brought on why they're doing this. And I have a feeling it's because I heard some books got pulled off the shelves in Ohio. I think it was Ohio, some like a Holocaust related book and a book about I want to say it was a LGBTQ character in a book. They pulled the book out of the library for the kids. And I'm like, that's bullshit. They shouldn't do that. And if this is the overreaction, I get it. I know what they're doing. And they're trying to make the Christians see, hey, this is what it's like. If you want to be like that, we can be dicks to you guys too. Right? It's just it's gonna fall short. I'm seeing where they're coming from. I'm just saying it's just like those guys that said all those gay guys got together and did that big song on the internet. Did you ever see this? They said, "We're coming for your children." You ever see that?
Yeah, I'll do this one. Here you go. There we go.
Anyway, there was this video. All these gay guys are like, we're coming for your children. And they sing this song about it. And if you listen to the song, they're like, we're coming for your children to teach them how not to hate. And I'm like, okay, I get it. But at the same time, you guys fail. This message failed. It fell so far short of the mark of what you were trying to do. And all you ended up doing was shooting all of yourselves in your little dicks. And that's what you did. So every single one of those weirdos in that video that's wanted to sing a song, we're coming for your children, fail. Big fucking fail. I got it. I get it. It was an overreaction. These overreactions don't help anybody. And it makes me look bad because they're literally we're trying to defend the same things, which is freedom, freedom of whatever, freedom of everything. And yet when you're forcing your narrative down the other people's throats that are forcing their narrative down your throats, it's just going to have the opposite effect, man. They're just going to come at you even harder now. It's a big mess, bro, and this is exactly the path that we have to go down because people are so dumb. We have no choice, and our leaders suck.
Oh yeah, for sure. All
right, I need to smoke now because I'm very sad about humanity. This is all your fault.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I came up with this on TikTok, and I'm like, this has to be my fun. This is dumb.
It's a heavy one, bro. It's a heavy one. I'll definitely get into fascism, and that's what that is. It's a reaction to fascism. It's an overreaction to fascism. Now teaching about anything's not fascism, but altering the facts of those lessons, like they want to do with, pulling out what they call critical race theory and pulling out all references to gender and pulling out all references to LGBTQ. That's controlling. That's grooming kids to be the way you want. You want perfect little heterosexual Christian kids? Wow, fuck you. I want a satanic LGBTQ kid. How about that? Go fuck yourself. Some people are down with that, and not everybody feels the same. There's a lot of people out there that are Satanists, actually. Most of my metalhead friends say "Hail Satan" and put up the devil horns. I've been known to do it many times. I've done it on this show plenty of times. I will say, "Hail Satan," all bow before Satan. He is our king and our master. I say it all the time. You know why? Because it fucks with people and it makes them think. And they're like, is Nay a Satanist? Are you that dumb? Are you really that dumb? You think that I go to a satanic church? Makes you think. Anyhow, I'm not smoking, and that's my problem. So, hey, walk by faith, not by sight from Twitter. Thanks for joining me on here again, buddy. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Okay, cheers, everybody. Josh G, Tess, and everybody's watching on Rumble.
Good morning, Nay, and good morning, all.
John Combs, how's it going? Yeah. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers, Tess. I don't know why this woman doesn't read out your names. Maybe we should switch voices. Let's see. Zira, English. Let's go with... all the way at the top. Arabic, Spanish, German, English, Australia. I think we thought the Australian woman was a little too sexy, right? Cuba, Germany, Denmark. No Denmark. Absolutely not.
No Denmark. How about Turkey?
English, Ryan, Sonia, English. Oh, let's do Sonia. We'll see what she sounds like. Tess Kelly says cheers. Cheers, Tess.
Josh G. Hello, I'm Sonia.
I don't like that voice so much. I don't know if I like that voice. Let's maybe pick another one. Dude, I'm so high right now. Sonia, Thomas. Oh, that was... No. Georgia, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Israel, India. You guys hear the shit about what happened on that flight from... it was a Irish flight, I believe. Scotland or Ireland. I believe it was Ireland. And they were flying into Tel Aviv. And the stewardess on board the flight was announcing that they were arriving, where they were heading. And several times... Let's try. Oh, Anna's the little kid, right? Let's try Aria. Let's see what that sounds like. And the woman, the stewardess, was announcing they're coming in, and she kept referring to it as Palestine. She'd say, "We're coming into Tel Aviv in Palestine here, and we'll be there within 2 hours."
Top of the morning to you, Nay, and all the trendies.
Hey, Sean. There were Israelis on the flight, right? They pulled out their cell phones. And they were trying to capture her saying that. They wanted video of her saying Palestine. Because they were angry about it. Because how dare you refer to that region as Palestine? So, let's do a little search real quick. Let's just look up the facts of the because I haven't done this, right? This should be interesting. What and where is Palestine? Google. Okay, it shows Texas, Palestine, Texas. That's the first thing that Google shows you. Because Google sucks.
Yeah, true for that.
Sucks stuff that I can't say because there's people right here. Palestine. Mediterranean region. Here we go. Oh, here's some pictures. Here's some maps.
Josh G. Of course, because USA first. John Combs. Texas, LOL.
I mean, it's a simple question. What and where is it? It says Israel's borders explained. Palestine region. Here we go. Geographic region in Western Asia. Okay, this is from Wikipedia. We'll use this one. Palestine is a geographic region in Western Asia. It is usually considered to include Israel and the state of Palestine. For example,
What if you ask ChatGPT to explain it, haha?
Josh, though some definitions also include part of northwestern Jordan. Palestine is a geographic region which includes Israel. Okay, so check this out. Israel's located in Palestine. That means that since Tel Aviv is located in Israel, Tel Aviv is located in Palestine. That's a fact. Okay, that's not anti-Semitism. That's a fact. Now, was she being anti-Semitic in saying that? Was she trolling those people?
Right.
Maybe in their minds they were getting trolled, but in her mind she was being completely honest about what she was saying. She knew that the region was Palestine, and she was able to say that. And the airline was apologizing for her saying that. Now, I don't know if she got fired. We can go pull up the article, but that's the gist of what happened. And you can think about this however you want. But, if the respect of the world back, they need to start coming clean about how they've been treating the Palestinians. And if this catches on, oh boy, you know what it does? It lowers the standard for what anti-Semitism is, and that's a good thing. It's a really good thing. Because we need to lower those standards. We need to be able to be critical of Israel. We need to be critical of Netanyahu. We need to be critical of racist Israelis that we see throwing stones at Palestinians and burning their homes down, and kicking them out of their region. Right? Am I right? Am I right? If you agree with me, let me know. Let me know in the chat. I know this is a tough one, but at the same time, this is what's going on in the world. This happened yesterday.
1.
One meaning Josh
John
agrees.
Combs. Yes, I-A-E.
I'm glad you agree. I agree too. I completely agree. If that woman wants to call Palestine, and those Israelis don't like it, too goddamn bad. And guess what? Tel Aviv is located in Israel. And Israel, right here, according, you might want to change Wikipedia. Better see what happens to that Wikipedia page over the next few weeks. Right? How much you want to bet the definition of what Palestine is? It's going to change. It's going to say
Andrew Hay.
Palestine was.
Can we talk about how Joe Biden put a LGBTQ flag in the middle, hanging down from in between two Americans' flags? Is Joe on crack?
Andrew, does that bother you? Does the LGBTQ flag bother you?
Yes.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't bother you. You know why? Because there's LGBTQ people in our community. There's LGBTQ people all around, and people like you need to be made aware of that. Obviously, if that was something you felt like you had to mention on my live stream, go ahead, Walk.
I'm aware. It's whatever. I'm not gonna argue on this one. Just from my opinion.
Do you have any gay? Do you have any gay friends?
I have one, but
You have one gay friend? Dude, I love you so much right now. Dude, you are the funniest person on the internet. Right? You have just owned the entire internet. In fact, I have to share this. Oh my god. Dude, you are the funniest guy ever. Oh, I have one gay friend. Oh my god.
what if I goes down?
Dude, I gotta quote this. I have one gay friend.
Oh no, I'm not going to blow up on the ground.
My friend just said I have one gay friend. Bro, man, you've got one gay friend. I mean, have you ever watched someone who is gay and like on TV or in the movies and you're like, dude, they're pretty fucking cool. That gay person's pretty fucking cool. Has that ever happened in your life?
Yes.
They're people, bro, and they exist, and we can't expect them to change what they are for us.
No, we can't. No.
That's like expecting an African American person to do what Michael Jackson did and bleach their skin white so that we can be more comfortable around them. It's obnoxious. We have to be more. We have to be more accepting. I don't care about the inclusiveness and all that bullshit, but we do have to be more accepting of each other. And this is a great time to look at that.
I have a gay friend too. He doesn't push that.
I don't care if they push it or not, dude. It doesn't matter.
I'm neutral in this.
That's good. That's good. And this is what Cyber and I talk about all the time, and I agree with you on this, Walk. This narrative should not be pushed, and Andrew Hay, this narrative should not be pushed down your throats the way they're doing it. He's right when he said Biden hung this flag up, it's LGBTQ. It's the wrong place, wrong time. Andrew Hay is correct. I'm going to give you that, Andrew, totally. At the same time, look and see why it bothered you. Get into that a little bit more, go a little deeper with that, and be more accepting of people. And understand that I sympathize with you on the whole narrative being rammed down our throats thing, because what Bud Light did was bullshit. You know, it was total bullshit. They shouldn't have. This is just not the right place. And people trying to take the LGBTQ out of schools, that's wrong too. You know, there's wrong going on both sides. There's LGBTQ children out there, and there's LGBTQ families that have children in schools. So it's just not right to act like they don't exist and try to erase books. You know, God bless America. Schools where kids learn, and they should have access to that stuff in school. They can choose whether or not they want to read a book. I never read books in school. Fuck a book. I didn't read a single book in school. I swear. I didn't read any books when I went to school. None. I can't name one. You know why? Because I never read a fucking book in school. Think about that. Did you do a book report? Yeah, you know, I fucking read a summary, or I skimmed it really quick. I didn't read the whole fucking book. Are you kidding me?
People.
I don't read books. I just don't.
Everyone, including myself, was indoctrinated with judgment.
But do I think that books are important?
What is it that
oh yeah,
sets us?
They're one of the most important things in the world. Books, they really are. Now I never found them important, but that doesn't mean that I'm okay with people that want to remove them from schools. And I'm telling you that it's the absolute opposite of how I feel about them.
What Target did was also wrong.
Yes, what Target did was wrong. What Target, what all these corporations are doing is wrong. You guys are right, but it shouldn't bother you. It also is what I'm saying. It shouldn't bother you. And what should bother you is that they're trolling you, and they're getting you to talk about this on the internet, and they're manipulating you right now. These corporations are getting the exact response out of you that they want. Because they know that if you talk to someone like me, you're going to be more accepting. And that's all we're talking about, is just being more accepting of people that are different.
Bonsai House.
They're trolling you right to me, man.
Internet. Very important. Enoch Emmanuel Torres. Ban waging jumping corporations. John Combs. I'm just saying they shouldn't push it on us.
You're correct, John. They should not push it on you. It gets the opposite effect. It makes people like y'all and Cyber Reload fucking hate the LGBTQ community, and you might not have done it before. You might not have hated the LGBT, and now all of a sudden you're like, well, fuck those motherfuckers. Look what they're... And you forget. You're like, it's not the LGBTQ community that's pushing these narratives. It's corporations that are doing it. And the people that are making those decisions aren't even LGBTQ people. It's not fair. And that's what you have to be aware of. And then that's how the fascism gets you, because they start fooling you into thinking that people are, coming at you and coming for your children. And oh man, this whole movement has so backfired in everyone's faces. It's not working. None of it's working anymore. What's the solution? That's what we should be talking about, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Josh G. They derepresentation from their side.
I can
Bonsai House.
sum it up.
Please state your name.
I'll sum it up
First name not.
in the lyrics
Last name sure.
from a song,
Hello, not sure.
from a movie,
John
from
Combs.
Disney.
I love all to each.
Are you
their
ready?
own. Just don't throw it in our
This
face.
is the advice from me and to everyone else. Let it go. Let it go. We should all just let it go. Corporations, politicians, all of us.
You're right. We should let it go.
We make this social issue a political issue. This is what we did with women's rights, and now women have lost their rights. Now Southern Baptists shut down congregations led by women. Think about that, guys. They're no longer a part of the Southern Baptist Church. You're
John Combs.
excommunicated. Excommunicado. Think about that. We're trying to do the right thing as a Southern Baptist with your female pastor. Your daughters were so proud to be in that church. They were going to try to become one maybe themselves, and now the church itself is telling you that that's wrong. It's like somebody spilled oil, like black oil, on a floor, and it's just creeping everywhere. That's fascism, and we can't stop it. Everything's getting covered with this black oil. It is so bad. And I would
watch your step
love
while boarding the train.
I would
Welcome
love
to
to
the
see
monorail
people
at
talking
Disney
more
Magic
about
Kingdom.
fascism than,
Funded by Ron DeSantis.
what a great sexpert they are. And what I mean by that is not what you
Enoch
might
Emmanuel
think.
Torres.
You might think, oh, he's promoting himself
Like
and
a
saying,
BLM
oh, you shouldn't be
movement,
watching
they are
those
going
shows, you should be
bankruptcy,
watching his show.
government,
No, what
pushing
I'm saying is,
narrative down
all
your
those
throat.
shows should be talking about fascism. Everyone should be talking about fascism right now. The Southern Baptists should have been the first ones out there in the street defending the LGBTQ community.
Oh,
We need to be defending the Palestinians. It's fascism over there. What's going on in Israel is fascism. With that, I'm going to applaud that woman on that stewardess that called it Palestine. Hey, man, I applaud the truth. That was a fact. We looked it up on I read it to you. I read you the definition of what Palestine is. It's that whole region. Is. It didn't say was. It said is. The region where Israel resides. And Palestine and all those other countries that are right there. Congratulations to you, stewardess. I hope you don't get fired. You were only telling the truth. I know you were being a little troll cunt. I know what a troll cunt is, and I know that you're a fucking troll. But we're just going to keep that between us here. We know you were trolling those people on that plane. But at the same time, I applaud you because it's the truth. And if you could troll people with the truth, you're winning. You are fucking winning. I smoke to that. Walk. Do you smoke? Are you smoking? Are we smoking? Walk by faith, not by sight. From Twitter, guys. What's your at on Twitter?
Treasure Coast Waters.
my app.
Good morning, sir.
You want people to follow you?
PTRNDYS.
I have some people follow me, but not many. Most of them are just friends and fan now.
Enoch Emmanuel Torres. Hashtag I smoke along.
We better smoke. Cheers, guys.
Treasure Coast Waters. Cheers, son.
God, I'm just gonna color.
I have huge lungs. Nobody takes hits that big. Nobody. Well, except for this one dude.
I have a big heart.
Wait, I still have to exhale all this smoke.
Emmanuel Torres. Power Lung Sun.
Whatever happened to Iron Lungs McGee? Iron Lungs McGee!
Waters. Loving the early appearance, pal. Thank you ever so kindly, pal. Cheers.
TC Dub, right on, buddy. Yeah. Who's out here vacuuming? Oh. Bro, we had two women working, right? One of them is older and the other one is younger. And then we wanted the other one to be out here doing all this, and she's not, bro. I don't know where she's at, but she's wearing little black shorts. I'll tell you that. And you might see her later. If not now, you'll see her later. They're wearing the same uniform, but this other one, her shorts are a little different. So I'm just saying.
Sometimes I think about old Dominic, Leo Dommy Dom Dom.
Whatever happened to Dommy Dom Dom Dom? That's funny. He's just kind of disappeared, hasn't he? Whatever happened to Dominy Dom Dom Dom? Domino Dom. Nami! Dummy Dum Dum.
Emmanuel Torres. Played Fortnite for the first time yesterday. Lemme tell ya, it's like COD on acid, bro. John Combs.
I don't know if I'd like that.
Boing. Josh.
You guys want to see the definition of Palestine? I should
And
put it up on
hippie chick
screen.
TF, she been or for name girl. PSHH.
No, hippie chick still watches. Hippie chick still
Treasure
watches
Coast Waters.
on Rumble.
What happened to
She
Slow
watches. Hippie chick
Bonsai
watches
House.
every show.
Maybe cause the others have warned them that there is a camera pointing into the lanai with
She
a guy
loves
that
me.
yells we got yoga pants
She loves
in
me.
there. Patrick John Welder. Morning Nay. Well, in today's Texas news, Greg Abbott bans paper plates in vehicles. We are all safe now. Treasure Coast Waters. Trendy Elite.
I don't know how to bring this on. Image, media source, scene, text, video capture, window capture,
Enoch Emmanuel Torres.
application audio.
Doc Holland.
Call this one Palestine.
Hoot and Howl. Morning Nay.
Hey, what's up there? Look at you.
Cannabis. At Nay's Garden NLRC. Cheers NOY all day. John Combs. Banned paper plates in vehicles. WTF. Hoot and howl. Look at me looking at you, eh?
Hey, looking at that, looking at this.
Bonsai House. I've seen two of them turn and look at the camera after you said stuff about yoga pants. They are onto you.
I didn't say anything about yoga pants. I said shorts. Alright, check this out. I want you guys to look at the definition. This woman is, we haven't even gone over the article yet, but the woman says, you know, we're coming into Tel Aviv in Palestine. And the people from Israel that were on that plane got angry, right?
ID new lawn.
There was actually an incident that occurred on the plane because of it. They tried to take video of the stewardess saying it, and they told the passengers that they weren't allowed to videotape her while she was working.
Get a file. Bonsai House. Diff shows. John Combs. Sharpen you our old one. Treasure Coast Waters. It broke.
Let's read through this. Palestine, right? It says is. Right? This is Wikipedia. So the word is not was, the word is. Now, if you're Bill Clinton, you're wondering what the definition of the word is. What is, it means it's currently in existence. It is. This mug is, right? This bong or bubbler is. It is right here. It is, or wherever it is, right? Palestine is. It's not, I took one of these and smacked it on the floor, then it bounced up in the air and landed on my coffee table and broke on a live stream. Was because Wikipedia, and that's where I'm getting this from, in all fairness, doesn't say was. Wikipedia says is, and in this specific case, the word is everything. It has everything to do with our conversation and what that woman said on that plane. What that woman said on a plane, was only offensive to someone who's offended by the existence of Palestinians that live in Palestine. It's them that are actually being racist. Wow. They got trolled so bad by that stewardess. She trolled them so bad. You know why? Because what this says right here is Palestine is a geographic region in Western Asia. It is usually considered to include Israel and the state of Palestine. Though some definitions also include part of northwestern Jordan. There's your definition. That's the way it is in Wikipedia. And would you like me to look it up in other places? I would gladly do that if people were arguing with me about it. But no one is, so that's fine. Once again, I applaud the stewardess for what she said. Let's go ahead and find the article now, okay? "78 people drown after migrant boat sinks off
What
Greek
did you run
coast."
over $1.30 for new one?
Huh?
Huh? That's what I said, huh?
Huh?
Oh boy, this is on CNN. Wow, I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna pull this up first. This is crazy. What's showing up on CNN is crazy. You don't trust CNN, right? But you're not gonna believe this. Israel's military called.
John Combs. I'm still watching for the sexy shorts.
Listen to this. Israel's military called the settler attack on this Palestinian town a pogrom. Videos show soldiers did little to stop it. So this is on CNN, and they're reporting on Israeli settlers going in and burning a frickin' Palestinian settlement to the ground. CNN is reporting on this as we're literally talking about how fascist Israel is. Here, allow me to bring this up for you guys.
The dude's mower blade.
Window capture. Let's try window capture and call this one CNN. God, it
Waters.
fucking worked.
Site activated. John Combs. Israel is the problem. Sean the Orca guy. IAEE with nay.
So for those of you who think you can't get good news on CNN, here you go.
Well,
Here you go. Here's one. Here's one good one. Sometimes you get a good one. Bro, you can put down CNN. They got a narrative. They're fucked up. It's okay. Go ahead, man. Spit it out. I know what's up. Walk. Go ahead, man. You want to shit talk some CNN? Go ahead, bro. I got plenty. You need some ammo?
no, I'm good. I got nothing for them.
I'll give you plenty. If you need some CNN, dude, all I ever do is clown CNN. That's on my you see my Twitter feed, right?
Yeah, I do.
I clown the fuck out of CNN. So if you need some ammo over there, bro, I'd get you started. You know, you want to.
I might even.
Here's the first thing. Let's talk about how they have never talked about this or covered this ever. This is the first time. Right? There you go. You know, it's only taken forever.
When hundreds of Israeli settlers rampaged through Hawara and surrounding Palestinian towns in the occupied West Bank on February 26, leaving at least one Palestinian man dead and hundreds of others injured, it was billed as revenge after a Palestinian gunman killed two brothers who lived nearby. What unfolded was violence so brutal that the Israeli military commander for the West Bank called it a pogrom and said that the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, had not been sufficiently prepared for revenge attacks. An inquiry by the IDF found that the military failed to deploy enough soldiers to prevent the riots.
In other words, they stood by.
This is a severe incident that took place under our responsibility and should not have happened.
They always seem plenty prepared to go in there and brutalize Palestinians, though, right? They're always prepared for that shit. I don't buy it. Fuck that guy.
Happened. Israel's top military officer, Lieutenant General Herzi Halabi, said in a statement in March. A months-long CNN investigation, based on analysis of videos from the scene, exclusive testimony from an Israeli soldier, as well as interviews with 7 eyewitnesses and 2 Palestinian journalists, sheds new light on the actions of Israeli forces.
Sean the Orca guy.
CNN found that, not only did the forces fail to stop the riots in Hawara, they did not protect residents as settlers set fire to Palestinian homes and businesses and blocked emergency services from responding. Instead, when residents threw rocks in reaction to the settlers' aggression, Israeli forces fired at the Palestinians with tear gas and stun grenades, according to analysis of the footage and eyewitness accounts.
That's like saying you have one black friend, lol, totally AE with nay.
The soldier, whose account was provided by Breaking the Silence, a non-governmental organization established by IDF veterans that offers a platform to speak out confidentially, said dozens of armed forces were on the scene, operating alongside Israel Border Police, and they were aware of the threat the settlers posed, but did nothing to intervene. We just let them continue to advance, the soldier said, adding that the army generally doesn't know how to deal with settler terrorism.
Bullshit.
Sean the Orca guy.
In the aftermath of the violence, Israel's finance minister, Bezalel Smotrich, a settler who opposes Palestinian sovereignty, said that Hawara needs to be erased.
IAEE, we must accept people for who they are without shoving it down people's throats.
Residents of the town, which straddles the main road running north to south through the West Bank, have long been harassed by settlers passing through. But, in the wake of the violence, they said they are more terrified for their security than ever before. Nawal Damadi, 75, peers outside her front door that was torched by settlers in Hawara on February 26. Eyal Warshavsky /Sopa Images /Light Rocket /Getty Images. Now, as Israel's right-wing government ramps up incendiary remarks, pledging to increase its authority over the occupied territory, settler attacks have continued largely without recourse. The IDF said in a statement to CNN that dozens of Israelis had desecrated Palestinian property and acted violently against Palestinian residents on February 26, but only several were arrested. All were released without charges.
Wow.
Treasure Coast waters.
Seeking revenge.
Cheers, peers.
The two Israeli brothers, Hillel Munekimyanev, 22, and Yegelia Kovyanev, 20, whose killings triggered the rampage, lived in Har Bracha, a Jewish settlement in the hills above Nablus, about 4 miles away from Huwara. Hillel had recently completed his mandatory army service, and Yegel was set to start the recruitment process.
John.
Because I have GR blocked from my chat. And but because you had to ask that silly question, you've shut down my speech, text to speech, bro. You shut it down. You shut down my TTS.
Why can't she say AEE?
Ilya Yefimovic /Picture Alliance /Getty Images.
John Combs.
In response to the Yanov's deaths, administrators for a WhatsApp group called Fighting for Life, which coordinates settler demonstrations, called on members to fight back and march from two settlements, Yitzhar to the north, and Kfar Tapuak to the south. The post was disseminated on several settler WhatsApp groups, as well as on social media, suggesting that the threat of violence would have been well known to authorities beforehand.
Oh, okay.
We demand revenge. We must fight back. Following the fatal attack in broad daylight in Huwara today, we're leaving our houses and fighting for our lives, the post read. 18.00 March from the Big Yitzhar Junction and from Tapuak Junction to the scene of the attack in Huwara.
Enoch Emmanuel Torres.
Huwara residents said much of the angry mob on February 26.
Sean the Orca guy. Nice reference on the Let It Go Nay.
So in Israel, when some fucking lunatic goes and kills two guys with a gun, a whole fucking city, a whole village goes over and burns down another village.
To me.
And right before that happened, that was basically a response to the shooting came days after a massive Israeli military incursion into Nablus in search of wanted militants, left at least 11 Palestinians dead. And this article, CNN, not telling you those 11, were any of them children, were any of them women, were any of them civilians, were they all soldiers? Not saying. At least we're getting some of the news.
The guy.
This,
Oh snap, I was behind in the chat.
we know. You were talking
I
over.
know.
You were talking over everything I was saying. You were talking over the reporting and everything that we're trying to do here. And you just did it again to announce that you were behind in the chat.
Ha ha ha, disseminated.
You just cut me off again
That
to tell
means
me
they
that you were
cleaned
behind.
up all the sperm.
And now you're cutting me off again.
Sean the Orca guy. Sorry, Nay.
I know. I know. Once again, CNN not telling us who these 11 Palestinians were, if they were all militants or if they were all civilians or a mixture or what their ages were. This is shitty reporting because this was months ago and they have access to all of that information. CNN does, but they don't want to tell you the whole story. There you go, Walk. I'm calling them out. See that?
Yep.
Calling them out on their bullshit reporting. Alright, so let's keep going.
February 26th descended on the town from Yitzhar, a nearby hillside settlement, which is built in part on privately owned Palestinian land. Settlers tried to block Tapuak Junction on Route 60, the main north-south road in the West Bank that runs through Hawara. Ilya Yefimovic /Picture Alliance /Getty Images. Analysis by CNN in collaboration with Fake Reporter,
Fake
an Israeli
Reporter!
watchdog that monitors disinformation and far-right groups, showed that some members of Israel...
They're literally called Fake Reporter. I mean, what are we supposed to think?
Actually, what happened? No.
CNN, in conjunction with We're Fucking You Up Your Ass News. Oh my god, dude.
Oh, can we just add them like, hey, are you just okay? No, we're fine. I'm like, alright.
Wow.
Israel's parliament,
Wow.
the Knesset, including lawmaker Limor Sun Har-Melech, were part of the WhatsApp groups. Sun Har-Melech, from Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir's Otzma Yehuda party, posted a tweet from Hawara where she said she went to support residents of Samaria who have come out to protest and to demand security after long months of abandonment. Israel officially refers to the West Bank by the biblical names Judea and Samaria. Another Knesset member, Zvi Sukkot, from Smotrich's ultranationalist Religious Zionism Party, who lives in Yitzhar, posted on Twitter saying, Hawara's killer's nest needs to be taken care of. Later, he shared a photo of himself with settlers at Tapuak Junction, where they had gathered to march to the town. Mourners take part in the funeral for the Yanab brothers at the military cemetery in Jerusalem on February 27th. Gil Cohen-Magan /AFP Getty Images. Since Israel occupied the West Bank in 1967, the territory, which residents hope will form part of a future Palestinian state, has been carved up and divided by Israeli settlements. Hawara, which is home to about 7,000 people, is surrounded on three sides by settlements that have a reputation for being extremist.
Great.
Most of the world considers these settlements illegal under international law, but, in spite of this, successive Israeli governments have pledged support for them. The International Criminal Court considers the transfer by an occupying power of its own civilian population into territory it occupies a war crime. Israel views the West Bank disputed territory and contends its settlement policy is legal.
Fuck them.
Achia Schatz,
Be happy with what you
executive
got,
director of Fake
motherfuckers.
Reporter, told CNN that Israeli security forces should have been
You
able
know,
to prevent
in
the
this
attack on
specific
Hawara,
case-
given how widely disseminated.
Israel is exactly as bad as Russia, trying to take land that's not theirs. You know, that's what they're fucking doing. And they're using military to do it.
Calls for violence were in advance, both by settler groups and far-right politicians on encrypted apps and social media. CNN saw at least one of these posts several hours before the violence in Hawara began.
John Combs.
A youth rides a bicycle on a road in the Jewish settlement of Yitzhar, in the occupied West Bank, in June 2020.
They're worse.
Ronan Zvolan
Israel's
/Reuters.
worse.
Right-wing extremist groups on WhatsApp and Telegram have become ticking time bombs, Schatz said, adding that the groups are used routinely by settlers to organize violence. They, Israeli security forces, ignored their duty to monitor violent groups and failed to stop the violence during the event. We are extremely worried and uncertain that they are prepared to prevent the next event.
Treasure Coast Waters.
While CNN cannot independently confirm how many settlers belonging to the WhatsApp groups analyzed by Fake Reporter carried out violence against Palestinians and their properties on February 26, at least one admin of these groups, a settler living in Yitzhar, filmed himself in Hawara that evening with flames in the background. Simple Jews are coming and doing the natural thing of revenge, he said.
10 to 4.
Smoke rises over Hawara after Israeli settlers rampaged through the town, setting fire to homes, businesses, and cars.
Wow.
Hisham K. Abu Shakra / Anadolu Agency / Getty Images.
Andrew Hay.
The attack.
What is a fake reporter? Let's look up the definition of it.
Ziad Dumaidi, 48, knew the Israeli settlers were coming through word of mouth and social media, so he prepared for the worst. He bought water, fixed the fire extinguisher, and parked his car at a friend's house. In the past, settlers had swarmed his home, lobbed stones at his windows, and tried to break in, Dumaidi said. But they had never tried to set it alight. Videos geolocated and verified by CNN showed hundreds of people flocking to Huwara's main street from a nearby roundabout between 6 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. local time, setting fire to car tires, cars, trash cans, and wooden pallets near the entrances of apartment blocks, shops, and businesses.
Oh, man. Like Nazis.
Dumaidi said his house was engulfed in flames.
Like Nazis on
With
crystal
smoke
knot.
pouring in, he and his wife and their 4 children
Fucking they should
prayed
be so
and
proud
prepared
of
to die.
themselves.
At
These
this point, my
supposed
family and I pronounced the
Jews.
Shahada, the Muslim declaration
You know,
of
it's
faith.
fucking crazy.
We thought it was over for
Bunch
us.
of fucking
there was
psychos.
barely any oxygen, he told CNN. More than 2 hours after the fire started, Israeli officers helped to extinguish the blaze, Dumaidi said, but they did nothing when settlers continued throwing rocks at him.
Bonsai House.
Footage showed the mob throwing stones at residents gathered on their balconies, windows, and rooftops. Then they set ablaze a parking lot full of cars, part of a dealership and repair shop at the entrance of the town, one of the small businesses that both Palestinians and Israelis would take their vehicles to be fixed in Huwara, an economic hub for the area.
Pretty sure the definition will say fake reporter.
They went behind the house and started to burn the cars. They went from one car to the next. I went downstairs, and there they were. They fired 3 bullets at me. They started to chant death to the Arabs. We want to wipe out Huwara, Hannah Abu Saris, whose family owns the dealership, told CNN.
Because of one psycho.
Jeff Donaldson.
A scrapyard of cars that was torched in Huwara. The violence on February 26th caused widespread property damage.
Hey Nay.
Ronaldo
Hey, Jeff.
Schemick / AFP Getty Images. Down the street, towards the center of Huwara, 75-year-old Nawal Dumaidi, a distant relation of Ziad Dumaidi, told CNN that she and her daughters were trapped inside their home for 3 days after settlers piled flammable
Look at what they
material
did.
in front of her door and set it on fire, preventing it from opening. Her son had to come back from Dubai to free them. She recounted hearing rocks hitting the roof of her apartment and landing on the balcony, and seeing fire coming towards her. She went to try to put out the blaze with a bucket of water, but Israeli military fired tear gas and stun grenades at her. She said, "We were choking on the gas, it was asphyxiating. We could feel our faces burning." Dumaidi later showed CNN tear gas canisters and stun grenades strewn on her balcony,
Wow.
evidence of the Israeli military's actions, she said.
Treasure Coast Waters.
Security camera, CCTV, footage from Dumaidi's building showed settlers, identified by their religious tassels, called tzitzit, hanging from under their sweatshirts, igniting wooden logs placed by the main door to her apartment block.
They're called
CNN confirmed with Dumaidi's family that the incident happened at 6
they're called taluses, not tzitzit, but okay.
6:27 p.m. Live footage filmed by Palestine TV corroborated that timeline, showing Israeli soldiers walking by without stopping the settlers from setting the fire or intervening to extinguish it. The Palestine TV livestream showed at least 3 armored Israeli military vehicles on the main road in Huwara, and several soldiers patrolling the street. Israeli soldiers can be seen in the footage firing tear gas up at residential buildings, which settlers are also targeting with stones. Some Israeli settlers posted on social media to say that the army and police used tear gas to break up the crowds, but none of the videos reviewed by CNN showed them firing on the settlers. The IDF said in a statement to CNN that its forces acted to separate the two sides, using tear gas and stun grenades and live fire in the air to disperse the riot. A Palestinian civil defense spokesperson told CNN that each access point into Hawara was blocked by settlers, and the Israeli military warned the emergency services it wasn't safe to enter. A fire truck was attacked by settlers with dozens of stones, forcing it to go back as the Israeli military stood by, the spokesperson said. Videos chronolocated at 8:25 p.m. show fire trucks and ambulances being stopped by Israeli soldiers at the roundabout leading to Hawara's main street. According to a Palestine Red Crescent Society spokesperson, the emergency vehicles were ambushed by settlers while the military watched. When Israeli forces finally let them in, they told them that it's at their own risk, and if settlers attacked them, it's their own responsibility, the spokesperson said. The Israeli soldier, whose testimony was shared exclusively with CNN, said the biggest failure of the IDF and Israel Border Police was their inability to protect and let in fire trucks. The fire truck simply drove alone and was attacked. The village continued to burn, he said. They told them to leave. Soon after, they returned with a group of Israeli soldiers in tow, Abdominum said. The settlers started throwing rocks at us, so we threw rocks back. Then they started shooting live bullets at us, not tear gas or rubber bullets, live fire from the get-go, he said. Normally when the Israeli military comes, they protect the settlers. They don't stop the settlers from attacking areas or burning stuff, they just surround the settlers so no one can attack them. And this is what happened when Sami was killed. The IDF referred CNN's questions about Iktash's killing to the Israel Border Police. A spokesperson for the Israel Border Police told CNN that they had opened an investigation after multiple media reports that Iktash was killed in settler violence. No settler has been arrested or charged in connection with his death. The aftermath. Since Israel's new government, led by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, was sworn in late last December, the most right-wing and religiously conservative in the nation's history, violence between settlers and Palestinians in the West Bank has flared. As of mid-May this year, the United Nations has reported 421 settler-related incidents in the occupied territory, leading to the deaths of 8 Palestinians, nearly triple last year, as well as injuring hundreds and causing property damage. In the same period, Israeli forces have killed more than 100 Palestinians in the West Bank. The IDF says most are terror suspects or people engaging violently with its troops during raids, but does not offer evidence.
You get killed for being a suspect there in Israel.
Mourners carry bodies of Palestinians killed in a raid by Israeli forces in Nablus during their funeral on February 22nd. Jafar Ashtia/AFP Getty Images. Attacks by Palestinians have left 14 Israeli settlers dead in the occupied West Bank this year, according to the United Nations. The attacks in Hawara didn't stop on February 26th. 2 Jewish settlers attacked a Palestinian man and his family with stones and an axe while they were in their car on March 6th, authorities said. The settlers were later charged with terrorism. The same evening, a video circulating on social media and geolocated by CNN showed Israeli soldiers and settlers dancing together in celebration of Purim, a Jewish holiday, in Hawara, when the soldiers were supposed to be there as peacekeepers. On March 19th, a Palestinian gunman opened fire on an Israeli couple in their car at a junction in Hawara, wounding one man who also had U.S. citizenship, according to authorities. Later that month, on March 25th, there was another shooting attack on 2 IDF soldiers. The next day, Sukkot, the far-right Knesset member, marched through the Palestinian town brandishing an Israeli flag. He called for the government to set up roadblocks and close all businesses in Hawara. We will continue to live here, and there will be a lot more Jews who will come here to the village of Hawara and will also live here in the settlements. The attacks won't help, throwing stones won't help, throwing fire bottles and the incitements won't help. We're here to stay, he said in a video, which was shared on Twitter. Knesset member Tzvi Sukkot, fourth from right, joined members of the Samaria Regional Council, which represents settlers of the northern West Bank, on March 26 to set up an impromptu office in the town. Jafar Ashtia/AFP Getty Images. Sukkot has been arrested several times on suspicion of organizing attacks on Palestinians, including an arson attack on a mosque near Hawara in 2010. He denied the allegation and was released. Eyewitnesses in Hawara told CNN that several attacks, led by settlers, took place across town after Sukkot's remarks. On the evening of March 27, shortly before Palestinian residents broke their Ramadan fast at home, videos showed Israeli military forces standing by their vehicles as settlers intimidated them and threw rocks at their cars on an otherwise quiet street. The footage, which were first geolocated by Gabor Friesen and Chris Oziak, Dutch open-source researchers, and verified by CNN, also showed Israeli forces detaining residents, in some cases violently beating them.
Nick Brown.
Israeli soldiers are now on permanent patrol of the town, periodically closing roads and forcing shops to shutter, according to residents, who said it is impacting their livelihoods. The IDF has said it is enforcing security in Hawara, but residents feel as though they are being punished.
Ding ding ding.
Such a light
Israeli
word.
security forces patrol Hawara on March 26th.
Bonsai House.
Jafar Ashtia/AFP Getty Images.
As soon as they say they can stay, they'll leave.
Hawara is a horror scenario. The damage it caused can cause damage that will continue and reverberate both towards the Jews and the Palestinians, the Israeli soldier said in testimony shared with CNN. Until now they burned a mosque and then they burned 10 houses in Hawara, and in the next stage they will burn half of Hawara, and in the next stage there will be no Hawara. An IDF spokesperson told CNN that additional forces were dispatched and arrived in Hawara on the night of February 26 after the riot took place, and soldiers remain in the town to reinforce the area. In response to a question about attacks against Palestinians in Hawara, they added that if Israeli soldiers encounter violent incidents directed at Palestinians and their property, they are required to act to stop the violation and, if necessary, detain or arrest suspects until police arrive at the scene. Residents in Hawara say they are still dealing with the trauma of February 26, reeling from what they described as the IDF's inaction, and are fearful of more settler violence. A man inspects the damage to a restaurant.
Look how long it's
following
taken
a
them to
reported
report
attack
on this.
by
That was
Israeli
back in
settlers
February.
in Hawara on March
And CNN's
28.
just now reporting on it.
Jafar Ashtia/AFP Getty Images.
Too little, too late.
This is the fourth time my house comes under attack. And I'm telling you the Israeli officers are always with them, Dumaidi said, recalling 3 settler attacks on his home in October and previous attempted break-ins. They just let them do whatever they want. Even when it comes down to a humanitarian level, they think, let them die. What is left for our dignity? What's left after burning? There is nothing left.
That's fucking crazy. Oop, I forgot to save that in the show archives. Oh well. That is what's up. So, as far as the Southern Baptist thing, I could pull CNN back up. I could end up saving that story. And find that Southern Baptist shit. Okay, let's see here. Wait, we were under world, right? And then we clicked on oh, here it is. Israel's military. Okay, right. We're going to save this. Oh, I already saved it. God, I'm good. Okay, and then we're gonna go to. We're looking for. You guys heard Russia sent some missiles into the middle of Ukraine. Some of them hit. They killed a few people. They also destroyed like 30 million plus worth of American tanks and Bradleys and killed a whole bunch of soldiers. You're not seeing a lot about that right now. Ukraine's offensive. Now it's called the counteroffensive. Whatever. No, let's go back here. There should be something here about
house. A forest fire in Chernobyl is raining radioactive ash over Ukraine.
why isn't this on here? This whole thing
Josh
about
G.
what's going on with the Southern Baptist.
Watching a naval ship leaving port right now on the beach as we speak about this. I always wonder when I see them heading out if it's training or whatnot.
What? A 21-year-old solved a Rubik's Cube in 3 seconds? It's not a normal Rubik's Cube. No way.
I saw that in only 8 seconds, so
It's like
I can't believe it.
it's a mini Rubik's Cube.
Oh, many of them. There's no fucking way. So, if anyone for there's no way. No, I gotta see this one myself.
3.1 seconds, 21-year-old. It's on CNN. I just can't believe the whole Southern Baptist thing's not popping up here. I don't know where to find it. Here, let me type in.
It then showed us, bro. It showed us again.
Southern, SOUTHERBAPTIST, Southern Baptist. Southern Baptist Convention votes to uphold removal of Saddleback Church over women pastors after appeal by Rick Warren.
Warren's a good guy.
This is psychotic. I don't even want to read this, but because it's so psychotic and it's so sad, I can't keep up with the fascism.
Up their ballots at the Southern Baptist Convention. The annual meeting of the Southern Baptist Convention voted to affirm a decision made earlier this year to remove Saddleback Church, a major Southern California congregation founded by the pastor and author Rick Warren, due to its having women pastors. Representatives at the conference in New Orleans overwhelmingly supported the decision to expel the church, according to the vote count reported Wednesday morning, despite pleas a day earlier by Warren, the author of The Purpose-Driven Life. The representatives, known as messengers, also voted to affirm the ousters of 2 other churches, including Fern Creek in Louisville, Kentucky, which has had a female pastor since 1993.
Can you believe this?
Southern Baptist Convention votes to uphold removal of Saddleback
They're
Church
going
over
after
women
all the
pastors
churches
after appeal
that
by
have
Rick Warren.
women leading the congregation.
The vote to uphold those removals came just a few hours before a 2/3 majority of the Southern Baptist Convention, the largest Protestant denomination
Why
in the
would you
United
just
States,
suddenly
separately
decide to
voted
do
to approve an
this?
amendment to its constitution that would more broadly prohibit churches from having women hold any pastoral title. The amendment must pass by a 2/3 vote 2 years in a row.
Because there has been a movement in the United States, Jerry Falwell, Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, to marginalize women. Now these churches feel emboldened to go after women. They've gone after schools. They've gone after... Everybody has, their marginalized group they want to persecute.
Marking its first.
Psychotic.
The Baptist Press, which describes itself as the SBC's official news service, reported Saddleback was found not to be in friendly cooperation with the SBC's statement of faith, which says in part that the office of pastor is limited to men. Warren was among those who asked the SBC to reverse the February decision on Tuesday. He appealed to the representatives to act like Southern Baptists who have historically agreed to disagree on dozens of doctrines in order to share a common mission, per the New York Times, which reported Warren appointed a husband and wife to succeed him after his retirement in 2021. 3 more women were ordained as pastors at Saddleback that year, according to Baptist Press. Voters were unconvinced. Per the Baptist Press, 9,437 votes were cast in favor of upholding the decision, compared to 1,212 against. Fern Creek Baptist's appeal was similarly rejected, with 9,000...
They're all in agreement. They're all fascists. They all want to impose their beliefs, and they all want to control women, women's rights, and they feel like their Lord and Savior, Donald Trump, and their Lord and Savior, Ron DeSantis, is standing there cheering them on while they do it. It's a bunch of fucking psychos. That's where fascism is today. Welcome to America. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you guys. So, there it is. I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to go. Hope you guys had fun. And enjoy your afternoons. Peace. Thank you, Walk by Faith, Not by Sight, for joining us today in the Discord.
You're welcome, dog.
Alright. Bye, everybody.
Peace.